It's a Terran versus Protoss. Okay, it's a best of 7. The two players won their respective best of 5, so now spawning up the top left-hand side. The French Protoss looking to repeat his victory to slay another returning Korean Protoss. It is My Insanity's PtitDrogo. And then his opponent, spawning down the bottom right-hand side of the map, it is Root SuperNova. Gonna see if he can sort of avenge his friend parting, and I believe they're actually somewhat good friends. I mean, whenever they play, there's a lot of banter, so... Right now we've got SuperNova going for a gas first. It's TVP, so that's pretty standard. The map is Blackwater, so the new maps haven't been explored too much, despite WCS Leipzig being played on them. As they've only been around, I'd say, a month or so. And StarCraft 2, it takes a while. It can take sometimes even years or a better portion of a year for a map to be discovered. So it's going to be a good one here, I think. Now... Really, it's going to depend what these sort of guys respectively decide to do. I mean, there could always be aggression out of one of them. There could always be proxies or rushes, things like that. SuperNova scouting out with his probe, wanting to make sure what his opponent's up to. Going for that wall off, which will prevent the Reaper from jumping in there. The third base on the map Blackwater is a very defensible one. I mean, when you just see this map, the first time looking at it, you just think, oh, that's an interesting third. And then you say, oh, that's an interesting third, as it's pretty easily defensible. It can be shot from siege tanks. Reapers can jump in, and then, of course, it can be dropped and whatnot. But besides that, as far as ground accessibility, you defend your natural, you defend your third base. And that's why that can be very nice for pros who want to go that route. PtitDrogo poking in with his probe, doing a little bit of harassment. SuperNova getting out his Reaper. Going to be going for the factory follow-up, so pretty standard TVZ stuff. We'll see where he decides to go for it in this game. If it's going to be a reactor follow-up, that's pretty much the standard factory opening to go for a reactor on it, and there he goes. Getting his gas as well, then moving out with the Reaper for the scouting. So very standard stuff coming out of SuperNova. His Reaper's moving in. Going to be heading towards the natural, just so where the Stalkers rallied as well, as that's where the two will meet. PtitDrogo pre-pulled his probes to make sure that Reaper couldn't get anything. Stargate is on the way. Not sure SuperNova is going to be able to scout it, though. If he jumps up here and maybe hugs the Cybercore, he may actually be able to see it. However, I'm not too sure he'll do that. That would actually be very interesting to see if he could see it from there. So far, the Reaper just heading right back home. Not sure what he's going to be able to accomplish there. SuperNova actually going to be going for a double Cyclone play here, so maybe going to be putting the aggression on his opponent a little bit. Now, that of course opens him up to a world of danger if PtitDrogo is going for an Oracle, as Cyclone's not the best at killing air units. The Oracles were recently nerfed, so they do take considerably longer to kill SCVs, however it's still quite worrying. Right now we've got SuperNova moving across the map with a Marine, a Reaper, and a Cyclone. Second Cyclone going to be joining. There's no shield battery for PtitDrogo, as he is focused on this Oracle. We'll see if he brings the Oracle back. He's going to have a second one coming out, which will be able to help counter out this aggression. SuperNova making a Hellion as well. However, that's really all he's been producing. Maybe looking to start Stim right after this, but he is going to take some damage to this Oracle. Starting a very quick third CC. That will be delayed or denied. Now he's moving in right now. He's got the two Cyclones. The Reaper, we'll see if he's able to bounce a grenade on these units. Hellion going to help clean up the Zealot. Probes are actually pulled here by PtitDrogo, so we'll see how well these units are able to do. We haven't seen the Reaper grenade go out just yet. Few probes have fallen. SCV's falling on SuperNova's side of the map, though. However, it looks like PtitDrogo going to have a tough time holding this. The two Cyclones have just decided to move across the map. Now the Oracle is going to come in, so SuperNova may just be best to trade versus these probes, and that's exactly what he's going to do by the looks of it. Actually, this Oracle not really spitting out enough damage to clean this up with ease, and 18 probes have gone down so far. SuperNova's third was denied. He needs to, well, delayed. He needs to continue on building that. However, PtitDrogo took a lot of damage there. SuperNova now just continuing to produce Cyclones. It looks like he is going to be playing that mech style, so get ready for a mech Terran versus Protoss. Oh, there was actually a Widowmine buried there by SuperNova. I'm not sure. He must have killed off a potential Oracle. I believe, yeah, the unit lost an Oracle, so that's very nice. That's a very nice pickoff by SuperNova. He's now moved a Cyclone there. However, a Cyclone can be in danger to 2 Oracles, so we'll have to see. He immediately locks on. He's going to have to retreat. Will he make it to the Widow Mine in time? Yes, he will. That Widow Mine is going to detonate on one of the Oracles. The other one just about out of energy. Not going to be able to kill that SCV, which is very nice for SuperNova. He actually pre-pulled another SCV there. Going to start a turret instead, had enough of these Oracles. So PtitDrogo, he had his own 3rd base. However, right now SuperNova is going to be finishing his up, so it's going to be 3 base versus 3 base. Protoss is equal on workers, which is never something Protoss usually wants to be. PtitDrogo lost a lot of workers that game. Oracle actually coming in there, as PtitDrogo has produced yet another one. This Cyclone going to have to work away on this Oracle. Going to force it back. That missile turret not quite finished up there. So SuperNova taking a bit of residual damage here. However, now he's getting ready for this mech transition. He's producing a siege tank. I believe he'll start a Raven relatively soon, as well as he's got a tech lab on that starport. Starting to wall off as well. Wall's very important for meching Terrans. And that Widow Mine, or another Widow Mine, pardon me, repositioned. Killing off one of those Oracles there. PtitDrogo has lost a lot of Oracles this game. He's now lost 3. Missile turret in position to shoo that Oracle away as well. SuperNova maybe going to be moving out across the map to try and poke PtitDrogo. We'll have to see, as PtitDrogo is quite low on the ground army. 3 Zealots and a Stalker. So PtitDrogo investing in a lot of units. We've got Infernal Pre-Igniters on the way for SuperNova. I personally love Hellion Runbys versus Protoss. He's looking to go for one right now. However, I don't believe it's going to get too much done. The first Hellion was picked off. Scouting that PtitDrogo is warping in more Stalkers to shut this down. So PtitDrogo going the standard Protoss Gateway composition. PtitDrogo has scouted the 2nd factory, so he's aware that it's going to be back. I don't know if he's ever watched SuperNova play, but SuperNova played mech for quite a while, so it can be hit or miss as to how players react to this. I think I might have cast SuperNova versus PtitDrogo a long time ago, him meching, or someone meching versus PtitDrogo. It might have been Utherum. I've cast a game where PtitDrogo played versus a meching player, and he did end up beating, so he's not clueless as to how to deal with it. SuperNova, though, he's going to be making these new Ravens, the new Ravens, very strong. The Hunter missiles, or whatever they're called, Scrambler missiles, I believe they're called, are very useful, and then they're also a lockdown ability. PtitDrogo still has this 1 Oracle alive, so he's going to be able to reveal this army. Sees exactly what's going on, sees that Great Wall of SuperNova. So it's a TVP. We've got a meching Terran versus a Protoss. SuperNova currently ahead in supply by a large margin. A large amount of supply, whereas PtitDrogo really just investing in a lot of different tech, investing in a 4th base as well. SuperNova may go for a move out as well. Though Cyclones and tanks very strong when supported by Ravens. This actual Observer going down for PtitDrogo, that's a bit of a loss. Warp Prism moving across the map for PtitDrogo. Gonna try and get a bit of harassment done. We'll see if SuperNova's got anything in position to deal with it. He's throwing up a missile turret. No sensor tower yet, so he may be caught by surprise by this. However, he's got a lot of Hellions, so as long as they're on this side of the map, he should be able to clean up basically any number of Zealots. Warp Prism coming in, may run right into that turret. Actually, changing direction there. A Zealot going to be parked at the 4th base. Then PtitDrogo may go for some harassment. He may not decide to. Sees that Stalker, they're going to possibly kill that off. Stalker is going to get away, though. Warp Prism still hanging around, though. SuperNova building up quite a large mech army. He may go for a push. He's up on supply. He's going to have 1-1, so maybe SuperNova will hit a 1-1 push. Looks like he's planning on making another starport for Ravens there. I was thinking he may swap that over, but that was not the case. Just going to continue this tank production. And it appears we have some lag here. Pardon me if there's any stream lag. I have a very garbage internet service provider. Never get to Shaw as an ISP. They are junk. That is my promotion. So we've got PtitDrogo making a lot of Immortals. Immortals have been fantastic, and they've essentially been the sole reason Terrans don't mech for as long as I can remember. They're just so good versus siege tanks, versus Thors, versus anything like that. SuperNova may be looking to move out with his absurd amount of Hellions. 25 Hellions will roast the Zealots. Then the tanks and Ravens. The Ravens may actually just disable all the Immortals, so SuperNova could be hitting a very scary push right now. I mean, there's 5 Ravens here. He can disable pretty much all of this mech army, absolutely destroy the Zealots, or get into a critical position right now. SuperNova may be looking to abuse that third base position as well. He's looking to go for a fight right now. Going to need to siege up the tanks. Going to disable some of these Immortals. Going for the missiles on them as well, but he's disabling some of the Archons there, so they cannot attack, and PtitDrogo's army is absolutely being slaughtered right now. It's forced back. A good chunk of the units survive. However, that was the engagement SuperNova needed. All the buffer for PtitDrogo went down. Now, SuperNova is out of Raven energy, so he's got a lot of dead supply in the air. The tanks are not sieged up. These Archons are going to get a counter flank. The siege tank shelling away on them, though. The Hellbat's absolutely roasting the Zealots there. Some more tanks sieging up. Not much anti-air for SuperNova, though, so he just disables the Oracle there. Siege tanks working away on these Archons. He's trying to make this push happen. However, PtitDrogo may have enough to shut it down. A lot of the tanks are going down. Using this Warp Prism to great effect. A few more tanks rolling in for SuperNova. He's kept these Ravens alive, though, but he is on the retreat there. Zealots charging after these tanks. That Immortal and that Warp Prism going to pick these few off as well. SuperNova got a few more units. Going to retreat to this Widow Mine. May get a fantastic shot there. Picks off the Oracle. That's a very nice pick off there. Production-wise, PtitDrogo did have... Well, they were equal on upgrades there. SuperNova's heading towards his 2-2. He's going to be able to sort of sit back on these 4 bases still by the looks of it. PtitDrogo now looking to maybe kill off SuperNova. It could be a little bit ambitious, though. There's a lot more Hellbats out. There's a lot of siege tanks in position. Maybe going to force a cancel on this one command center. Will be killed there by the looks of it. Not canceled. SuperNova, though, still ahead on supply. He's got a very strong army. When his 2-2 is done, it shall be even stronger. So that push didn't quite work out. However, it put PtitDrogo in a lot of trouble, and it shows the power of the new Raven. A few more command centers are on the way for SuperNova. He's producing even more and more Ravens. It is a little bit worrisome when the Templar Archives, though, gives feedback versus Ravens. It's very strong, and I think it will always be, as it completely makes the unit useless. We've got some Hellions for SuperNova, looking to go for a run by. PtitDrogo looking to go for a drop. More turrets are popping up, just going to be a second too late by the looks of it. The one turret gets a shot or two off. Another turret. So this Warp Prism in a bit of trouble right now. SuperNova coming in, can throw down all the auto turrets he wants to deal with this. Disables the Warp Prism there. Absolutely fantastic how it can do that, so SuperNova not having to worry about that. Going to throw up another auto turret or two by the looks of it to deal with these Zealots. It's a very good cleanup. Hellions not getting anything done, though. They are forced back. SuperNova has just been sort of teching up, though. Looking to maybe prepare for a mass air army, starting to produce Liberators, which very good versus Carriers, which PtitDrogo is going into. SuperNova not aware of the Carriers just yet. Economy-wise, PtitDrogo is getting up, or has a 5th base up. SuperNova on a 4th base, but it's very important as PtitDrogo starting to mine out some of those critical bases there, so the economy, SuperNova's in quite a good situation with all these mules he's been dropping. SuperNova may go for a repeat push once again. If he's got a large chunk of Liberators, he's making a Thor even. Not very good versus Immortals, however. The ground army, not too scary for PtitDrogo. He's really investing in this air tech, so we'll have to see if that's useful there. Hellions killing off a Stalker there. A few more Stalkers are going to catch those Hellions. The Hellions actually dealing decent damage to the Stalkers there. So you may actually continuously trade there. Are these Hellions actually going to kill off the Stalkers? Killed off a few. Not a terrible trade. Hellions moving out for a run by once again. Lots of cannons up in position, though. SuperNova gonna need to be prepared to deal with this air army, and he is. He's making a lot of Liberators. Liberators can be very effective versus Carriers, and then he still has the Ravens. Each Raven signifies one Carrier not being useful in the fight because of that disable ability. Hellions being chased by the Zealots there. SuperNova's almost maxed out on supply, so he may go for a push relatively soon. Command Center being delayed, though. Hellions are gonna come in to save the day, and there's actually enough Hellions to do so. Very odd seeing Hellions actually fighting Stalkers. Getting right on top of them here. Forcing those Stalkers back. Hellions chasing down these Stalkers. Gonna get a few kills there. A few probes going down to Liberator harassment. SuperNova's 3-3s on the way. Versus these mass carriers will be the test, though. Vikings are on the way. Thors are on the way. SuperNova's looking to go for a big push right now. This ground army for PtitDrogo, he may be caught off guard. The Liberators are going to be absolutely huge versus it if he sieges them up. PtitDrogo being forced back. The lack of any casters here. That one missile going down, so now that army taking a lot more damage. A lot of High Templar were warped in to spam those feedbacks. A lot of those missiles going down. So PtitDrogo, it's going to be a very busy fight for both these guys with all their casters, with all their units. Hellbat's tanking a lot of damage there. However, PtitDrogo is staying back as long as that missile affects on his army. It is not too strong there. Thors are moving in. SuperNova getting a lot of tanks sieged up. Good feedbacks going down, though. However, a lot of those High Templar are eating those shells, so now the remainder of the Ravens will be unchallenged. SuperNova really tightening the noose on this army. Liberators dealing with the interceptors. A lot of disabling going down on those carriers, even then a missile on top of it. So these units for PtitDrogo not getting a lot done. They cannot use their interceptors while they're under attack. So PtitDrogo losing probes, potentially going to lose this base here. It's going to be the question of, will SuperNova be able to deal more damage, or will PtitDrogo be able to come back and smash this army? More Thors are on the way. Liberators are still here, though, and so are the Ravens. They also have more disables, too, so this attack is not done by any means. The ground army is all but gone for PtitDrogo, so SuperNova may be meching his way to victory in the first game, disabling a lot of those carriers there, using the missiles as well, so these carriers, their armor is reduced. The Liberators are now working away on the remainder of the units. However, that disabling is now running out. However, most of the interceptors are gone. PtitDrogo is running with his tail between his legs. The Liberators dealing so much damage to those carriers since they don't have any armor there. SuperNova just focusing them down. And carriers are very expensive. PtitDrogo lost his 5th base. He does have a hidden 6th base. However, his probes are going to be misrallied. The SuperNova, he's gotten up another base back at home. He's got up a very scary army. He may be forced back by these carriers. However, PtitDrogo is just in oh so much trouble right now. These tanks can pretty much just move underneath these carriers. Ravens even disabling more of these carriers. They are being forced back. The Liberators are working away on them. Siege tanks pushing forward. So a lot of High Templar warped in by PtitDrogo, making Archons. 5 Archons is quite a number here. However, this is a high siege tank. There's Vikings as well. PtitDrogo is just, he's down by supply. SuperNova doubling his supply. A lot more Thors are running in. And with that, I don't know if PtitDrogo is going to be able to clean this up. He's maybe just processing this loss in the first game. All of that ground army is now gone. He's retreating with carriers. I don't think Protoss players are used to losing in a maxed out situation with carriers. Fantastic move out by SuperNova. Fantastic use of the new Raven. Very well played by SuperNova. Currently up 1-0. That's a fantastic start for him. PtitDrogo maybe thinking of what he's going to do if late game Protoss, it's now challenged by Mech, which is absolutely fantastic for Terran players. You can tell I'm a Terran player just from the way that game was. We're going to find out what the next map was. It's going to be Black-Pink. So that map was SuperNova's pick, as he was the higher seed. We just sort of do it randomly in Afreeca world. So we're now going to do, or pardon me, it was Black-Pink, not Blackwater. Waiting to enter the lobby so I can exit it. I chose the wrong one. Blackwater and Black-Pink. Talk about confusing there. Okay, so we're going into Black-Pink. We just played on Blackwater. Pardon me. So, thank you guys for tuning in. We're going to be getting on into the next match. It's going to be PtitDrogo versus SuperNova. Will SuperNova be able to dethrone the current champion? This map pick is PtitDrogo's. However, he may not have been thinking about mech at the time. It's interesting to see how Terrans are going to do this. I'm very excited. I'm very excited to see how this is going to develop, how Terrans are going to use this. Both players are ready from the looks of it. Well, we're actually... Okay, yes, both players are ready, so we're going to get on into it. Thank you guys for tuning into the Afreeca world, this tournament. Doing very well. I'm glad you're all enjoying the games. It's fantastic to see these guys playing in tournaments once again. And it's just fantastic to be back. So thank you guys for supporting the tournament. Alrighty, so into game number 2 of this best of 7. There's still a lot of wiggle room for both these guys to make advances. Spawning up in the top right-hand side. Gonna have to try and bring it back sooner better than later. It is PtitDrogo. And his opponent spawning down the bottom left-hand side. Sort of the master of mech on the Korean server. It is SuperNova. And sort of displaying that in that last game. I don't think we'll see him play mech every single game. But with the new Raven, it's a possibility. I've been one to sort of knock mech. Sort of call it... sort of say that if you can win with mech versus your opponent, you can win with bio, or that you sort of have to be better than your opponent in the first place to win with mech. So, but the Raven may be changing that up a little bit, making a Terran late game not so futile, making a Protoss mid game not so strong when it comes to being versus mech. So, fantastic to see. You'll have to forgive me as I have a drink of water during the early game. Afreeca TV is kind enough to sponsor this tournament, but we don't really have to run any ads or anything like that. So as a caster and as a fan, I completely love that. But throat does get a little sore since as a result, since we have no ads to run. There's no need for needless breaks or anything like that. The players want to go, I want to go, but throat does get a little sore, so do need a water break every now and then. Command center on the way for SuperNova, going for that Reaper expand. So nothing crazy and greedy skipping the Reaper. I mean, as Protoss, you want to know what they're doing. PtitDrogo once again walling off that Reaper spot. SuperNova trying to get in with this Reaper. We'll see if he does go to the main base or if he just scouts out for proxies, and that seems to be content scouting out for proxies. PtitDrogo going for a very, very quick Twilight Council. Maybe going to be going for a Blink All-In to sort of stop SuperNova before he gets too late. PtitDrogo, I bet once or twice he's rallied a Stalker inside the wall, so he's very careful to rally out and then down as opposed to just down. So we'll see what PtitDrogo is going for. SuperNova, if he jumps up with the Reaper, he can always land right here and see that there's a Twilight Council, but you don't really do that because of your AI pathing. But if you manually try jumping up, however, he may actually just get into the main base as it is. He's going to go in. We'll see if he sort of tunnel visions for a probe or if he's able to scout out. Is he going to go into the main base? I think at this point in the game, it's important to scout at the main base. However, he's working away. PtitDrogo is across the map with his Stalker, maybe trying to get his own worker kills. However, SuperNova picking off a probe there. He's going to have a Cyclone or two popping out, so he may lose an SCV and then get out. However, this Stalker may be sort of surprised by the fact that two Cyclones are now popping out. SuperNova now chasing away this Stalker here. Cyclone just popped out. PtitDrogo did see that it was the double. Oh, SuperNova trying to sort of work on that Stalker there. However, misplacing the grenade by just a fraction though, so not able to kill that there. PtitDrogo going for the blink right now. Every sort of unit lost in StarCraft 2 matters, so that Reaper going down. We'll see if SuperNova able to chase this down. Now, it's sort of odd. It's SuperNova maybe looking to go for that. Oh, pardon me. SuperNova is going for bio. Now, we have a few reasons to be worried for SuperNova because that this massive blink all-in is going to be hitting him. He's trying to put the pressure on PtitDrogo by poking with these Cyclones. We'll see if he just goes to the main base. PtitDrogo trying to wall, but not going to make it in time. So these Cyclones are going to get on in there. There's another Stalker coming down. SuperNova may just focus this. However, there is the shield battery there. However, some of these probes going down, or these Stalkers going down. Two Stalkers gone already. That shield battery going to run out of energy very quickly. Now these Hellions working away on these probes. A lot of units going down. 10 probes so far. SuperNova finding a lot of damage. Once again, those probes stacking up. Even more going down. 12 have fallen so far. And I'm sure there's going to be at least a few more Stalkers going down as well. SuperNova just slaughtering PtitDrogo here with such a simple move out with these Cyclones. PtitDrogo's build maybe not lining up in time for this. SuperNova coming in, running in with this one Cyclone, going to maybe pick off this one Stalker here. Another one there for PtitDrogo, so he should be able to save that. Cyclone may actually get another Stalker there, and he does. So 15 probes gone down. for PtitDrogo, and now he's just in a world of trouble. He's chrono boosting out more probes. He's going to have his blink done. However, he doesn't have a robo, so he's going to have to walk all the stalkers across the map. SuperNova has a siege tank, and he's transitioning into bio. The amount of damage that SuperNova has gotten done is fantastic, and I say that it's absolutely fantastic because it's simply that he's transitioning into bio. I mean, with Mac, Terran sort of has to sit back a little while, would give PtitDrogo some room to breathe, but SuperNova is going to be coming out with a mech transition with a bio transition relatively soon. He's going to have stim out and siege tank, so he may just be able to go across the map soon and finish PtitDrogo off. And with his siege tanks, I don't think he's in any danger of dying, particularly since his stim has already done these 6 stalkers. PtitDrogo may honestly just tap out when he sees this. SuperNova scanning, seeing that Robo's now just on the way, so he doesn't have to worry about a prism or anything, which is fantastic for him. Maybe going to be going for a move out is SuperNova. Could be a little bit ambitious here. Going to try and bait these stalkers into these siege tanks, and PtitDrogo may actually fall for it, eating a tank shot or two. SuperNova very smart there, baiting PtitDrogo in. No medivacs are just on the way. SuperNova waiting for his reactor, so a move out will be a little tough for him to maintain. However, he's actually just going around and going to maybe try and catch PtitDrogo off guard. And he may actually just hit the natural while PtitDrogo is completely out of position. There's a sentry or two back at home. Going for a warp prism is PtitDrogo, so maybe he's just going to try and win the game with this sort of charge and blink. Getting out Templar Archives as well. High Templar are a comeback mechanic for Protoss, as they're able to come back from great deficits. However, with this Liberator coming in, PtitDrogo is going to be in a lot of economic trouble once again, not that as he was already in tons to start, but now this move out's coming in. Keep in mind these Marines have stim, Combat Shield just finishing up for them. SuperNova, it honestly, if he saw how little PtitDrogo had, he may actually get this Warp Prism. Oh, he tries to get it, he stims, so bit of a wasted stim there. PtitDrogo recalls the Stalkers. However, looking at this now, Sentry going down, Liberator at the back, trading with some of these units, may actually kill off these Stalkers that were sent to clean it up, so PtitDrogo just falling more and more behind. He's half the supply. SuperNova looks like he's going to be taking a 2-0 lead in this series. It's a best of 7, so PtitDrogo may have a hard road ahead for him. SuperNova sending in even more reinforcements with this bio follow-up. Very smart choice. No need to try and go mech when the bio would work perfect in a situation like this. Stalkers going down to those siege tanks. PtitDrogo just is so little. He's not at a terribly low economy, but he's stuck on 2 bases. It's 2 base versus 2 base, but SuperNova has so much more supply. He's got these siege tanks, and PtitDrogo has absolutely no way to deal with them. He's going to have charge, but 4 zealots, pardon me, are not going to be enough. He's warping in 1 or 2 more. Maybe he'll be able to clean up these siege tanks here. He's going to eat a shot and lose a unit or 2. SuperNova now dropping the main base. PtitDrogo does not have much to deal with this. There's 4 mines dropped in there, and PtitDrogo taps out. GG gets called, and we are going to be heading on into game number 3. SuperNova up with a 2-0 lead, so this is sort of what I expected. I'm not, this game is no longer over, but I shouldn't say this. I kind of expected SuperNova to dominate Revival. Revival was only 5.7 to 8k MMR, and in matches they played, SuperNova generally won. So I expected SuperNova to advance, and then PtitDrogo, the more experienced player in the recent meta, I expected him to advance over Parting. So, and then SuperNova versus PtitDrogo could go either way, but SuperNova, I think, actually the sort of better, the more practiced of the recently returned pros. So now we're going to get on into map number 3, which is going to be Catalyst here. No more time to waste. Okay, so we're going to get right on into it. Thank you guys for tuning into the Afreeca World number 9. It's been a fantastic game. Fantastic tournament. PtitDrogo certainly has room to bring it back. Catalyst, quite a good map for Protoss. So we'll see if he's able to do it. Oh my, I'm actually from Vancouver Island too. Alrighty, it looks like both players are ready, so we're going to get on into it. Thank you guys for tuning in. Alrighty, it's a Terran versus Protoss. Once again, it's a best of 7. We'll see if PtitDrogo is going to be able to hold on to his crown or not. I'm going to have to remember to change the overlay. I've been good so far, but I almost forgot there. So it's a best of 7. Currently in the lead 2-0, spawning down the bottom right-hand side of the map. Representing Team Root, he recently re-signed with them. It is SuperNova. And his opponent spawning up in the top left-hand side of the map. It is PtitDrogo, going to try and bring it back, representing My Insanity. Going to be going for a wall-off. PtitDrogo doesn't like those Reapers getting in. He's walled off on every map so far, which he's been able to. We'll see what SuperNova goes for. It looks like this time he is going to be playing at racks into maybe gas, so not rushing out any tech just yet, or it's possible he'll go for a gasless expand, but there it is. That racks into gas, so not rushing out any tech just yet. Probe moving on out for PtitDrogo. Gonna scout out what his opponent's up to. Now these two players, I imagine they don't know each other too well. SuperNova recently out of the scene, and I sort of have doubt that PtitDrogo turns into a Terran streamer. And then PtitDrogo, sort of vice versa, doesn't even stream too much, so I doubt SuperNova knows much about him. But so far, SuperNova's sort of been doing his own thing by the looks of it, and it's worked. Right now we've got PtitDrogo's probe harassing SuperNova's SCV. It is going to be a Marine for SuperNova, so going to want out that slightly quicker factory. Not worried about scouting, and Map Catalyst, it is one of the ones in which it's easily sort of walled off, where the Reaper can easily be denied. So SuperNova going for that Marine. Not a bad choice there. The Marine will actually be able to shoo this probe away. Immediately a tech lab is on the way for SuperNova. I believe this may be for concussive shell marauders. Some Protoss, some Terrans have been liking the meta. I think Gumiho did it versus one of the Protoss, and a few Terrans have been doing this build. Concussive shells, yet so SuperNova watching other pros play and sort of getting build inspiration, it seems. Now we'll see if PtitDrogo expects something like this out of SuperNova. This one Marine moving out, making sure that the probe doesn't get in or anything like that. As this concussive shell works best when it's a surprise, because Protoss, they're used to having the freedom most of the time. Their stalkers can move out, they can do whatever, they can sort of poke, prod. But a Marauder with concussive shells can quickly change that and give Protoss a very bad start to their game, a very bad start to their day. Stargate on the way for PtitDrogo. Stalkers on the way as well, so he's continuously producing stalkers. He's already got one out. Working on his second. SuperNova going right into bio this time, following up that concussive shell. Now he's going to wait at the top of the ramp. PtitDrogo going to be caught. This stalker going to get caught right there. There's the concussive shell working away, and this stalker's life is pretty much forfeit. Concussive shell just tagging and tagging over and over again, so PtitDrogo not going to be too happy about that. I mean, that's just the nature of the build, though. Another stalker out for PtitDrogo. He immediately threw up a shield battery to be safe right now. SuperNova is moving out across the map. Now, I've seen exactly how pros do this, and I don't believe this counter push gets too much done here. I don't believe I believe that the shield battery that a probe puller 2 is going to completely save the SuperNova. Knows that, sees the shield battery, immediately returns home. Not going to forfeit these units, and I am loving that decision. PtitDrogo moving out with a bit of a cheeky probe. Could be for scouting. Could be for some malicious intent. I believe it is just going to go scout out his opponent, though. Actually, it is for a pylon, so this could be a gateway, an Oracle gateway all-in. This is something I could catch SuperNova off guard. SuperNova is throwing up a bunker, though. He's not too prepared for Oracles, though. No engineering bay on the way. He's producing a good amount of Marines, though. This is a very bio-heavy build. We'll see if these Marauders get thrown up in the front and where the Marines sort of hang out. The Marauders will be thrown up at the front by the looks of it. Alright, we've got this Oracle coming in here, working away. Picking off 3 SCVs so far. Gonna kill the one trying to build the engineering base, so that's unfortunate for SuperNova. Oracle's a little bit worse, but Protoss still getting damage done with them. Stim on the way for SuperNova, so he may be moving out just for a Stim bio move out, and PtitDrogo started a 3rd base, so this could be a little greedy, depending on how it works out. SuperNova may just move out with a large chunk of bio here. Stim is now done for SuperNova, so he can try and collapse on top of those Oracles. He'll have to start a factory at some point, but It looks like he is planning on going just for a big old move out. The Oracle's not going to be able to come back in just, I believe. They could maybe get in and deny these turrets, but no. So SuperNova is going to be free to move out. He's scouting out PtitDrogo. I believe he's quite aware that this attack is coming out. Few Marines being picked off by those Oracles, getting some damage done there. He's maybe going to look for a bit more rallied units. SuperNova not actually rallying his units there. He's now looking for looking to poke his opponent, but maybe he got in there and scouted, decided it was too risky there. SCV ready. So ultimately retreating. SuperNova maybe going to be playing a little bit from behind. He's on 2 bases. PtitDrogo going into 3 bases. We'll see if SuperNova is just going to wait for his medivacs before he decides to move in once again, build up a large chunk of bio, and he is. He's not committing there. That could have certainly gone either way with a poke in like that. However, with no healing support, with a good chunk of adepts, I believe PtitDrogo would have been able to shut that down. The shield battery is just too strong there. SuperNova's got a good chunk of Marauders, though, and he does already have concussive shells, so we'll have to see how the later game engagements go. SuperNova trying to catch out this Oracle. PtitDrogo, I think, might have seen those Marines there, though, and is going to retreat. Nice move by SuperNova, trying to do something like that. Maybe going to be able to catch the Oracle this time. Oh, it may just be missed time, though. The Oracle's sort of walking behind. Nope. PtitDrogo turns that Oracle around. 5 gateways on the way for PtitDrogo, so he's looking to go for some aggression. That's some odd gateway placement, I'll say. I mean, it's really going to... I mean, if there's a drop or something, it could be very hard for him to respond. But similarly, I guess it can prevent SuperNova from charging on in. PtitDrogo even throwing up a few more pylons, thinking... I guess maybe that got him thinking about Artosis pylons, so not wanting everything to be unpowered by 1 pylon there. SuperNova going to have some medivacs out just soon, so he'll be able to move out. There is just adepts for PtitDrogo. And I mean, it's not like there's a massive count at this point, so SuperNova may be able to sort of move out and then go for a counter push. He's got a large chunk of Marauders, a few Marines, and this is absolutely a large chunk of Marauders when I say so. Marauders not fantastic versus adepts. SuperNova's drop moving in, however, it has been scouted by this Phoenix. Stalker's warping in, getting ready to intercept this. SuperNova looking to push the 3rd at the same time, though, and PtitDrogo's moving out of position with these few adepts and stalkers. I don't know if there'll be enough to defend this. SuperNova may just boost over. It's a little bold, SuperNova charging in like this. He scans, but he's just out of range of the stalkers, sees the adepts coming in, so this could go very poorly for SuperNova. This adept counter-harassment is hitting him. He's got the 2 mines, which will help defend this. He's hitting the 3rd base. This bio putting out a lot of damage, but the shield batteries, a lot of healing potential on them. However, this bio does put out enough damage that it's actually killing off some of these units between their heals. However, not enough damage for SuperNova there. The medivacs, where did they end up? They were forced back there. SuperNova not getting any damage done. And now he's taking a lot of damage back at home. He's got some rallied out bio, however, he's down 20 supply. Well, 20 SCVs, pardon me. Adept still in his main base. He's going to have to clean this up. And at this point, I think SuperNova is just going to have to rally and try and kill off his opponent with his reinforcements. Picking off this Warp Prism would be absolutely huge for him. Alright, SuperNova got a good chunk of bio, and this still puts out a lot of damage. However, PtitDrogo's begun transitioning. He's gotten these Colossus, so he's really going to win these army fights. The players are equal on upgrades. PtitDrogo heading into his +2 armor, so it is going to be rough for SuperNova to find something else done. All these Stalkers are in position too, so it is looking rough for SuperNova. PtitDrogo set up very well in this game. Looking to try and get anything that he absolutely can. Going to pick off the Cybernetics Core. Why not? Maybe get a Stalker or 2 in the process. Not quite, but any pick off is nice. Unfortunately for him, he can't quite reach that forge. SuperNova, maybe it's time for him to go for something like a mine drop to try and equal up the worker count. He's going to need to start producing Vikings, and he's getting into that just now, so he isn't going to be absurdly far behind on the production. However, 2 Colossus are already out, and soon to be a 3rd, so it will be worrisome, so he is going to need to buy some more time in this game. Trying to keep PtitDrogo back at home. The 4th base is on the way for PtitDrogo. That's going to make him more exposed. Bit of a lag spike there, pardon me. Right now we have have these Marines and Marauders. Going to intercept a few units, and they have been doing so. However, Warp Prism coming in for SuperNova, coming in for PtitDrogo. There is a good chunk of bio in the main base, though, so this should be able to be shut down. Adepts are moving towards the third base. SuperNova has all of his bases really covered, though. It's just a matter of whether he reacts. He's got units at pretty much all of them. So cleaning this up, taking 6 SCV losses for something like 8 Adepts isn't the worst trade in the world. I'm going to need to react at that natural, though, as Adepts are unloading. This Warp Prism will be cleaned up, though, so this one Adept will be forfeit. SuperNova now going for a counterattack. This is exactly what he needs, honestly, except holding on will be a little difficult. He's going to have about 8 Vikings back at home. If he just pulls his units, he should be fine. He's going to be able to hit this 4th base. However, he's sort of being indecisive for the time being. This floating factory, actually the real MVP seeing this, going to be able to pick off this 4th base. This is SuperNova recall force, so he's forced to get out of there. Few Stalkers may be traded with there. SuperNova gonna maybe lose most of these units here. Over, he did clean up a lot of Stalkers there. Just deciding to trade with what he can, I suppose. PtitDrogo's army still looking very scary. However, SuperNova now actually ahead on army supply, and he's got a good chunk of Vikings. And as far as further tech goes for PtitDrogo, there's not too much. He's got the blink. He's got, actually, he doesn't have the charge, so he can't do mass zealots or anything like that. So once there's all these Vikings to deal with these Colossus, it will be a little rough. The 4th base was saved. That's important for PtitDrogo and his macro. However, any future harassment on SuperNova's base, well, any past harassment has been shut down lately. However, all these Adepts, as they say, future harassment. That's 11 Adepts. The 3rd base, SuperNova actually... Okay, we're Heart of the Swarm. That's it. SCVs are pulled by SuperNova. PtitDrogo got, like, a ton of supply over at the left and Adepts for harassment. They're not going to find anything to harass because SuperNova has pulled the boys. He's going for it. This is Wings of Liberty. Pulling the boys was sort of irrelevant when Adepts were popular, and Colossus were never really made too often, but now Colossus are made so the Vikings can deal with the Colossus, and now there's no real Adepts for PtitDrogo. Now, there is going to be an Archon or two, and that's absolutely huge. PtitDrogo or SuperNova working away on this. SCVs are pulled. SuperNova sort of disjointed there and needs to attack altogether. Losing a Viking or two is very important. However, he's trading with some of these Stalkers right now. Colossus are being forced back. He's going to need to fight. He's bled off a fair few of these Vikings right now. The fight is going down. PtitDrogo quite backed up. SuperNova doing the best he can. He's gone all in, balls to the wall right now. SuperNova kiting back to the best of his ability. Most of the Colossus have gone down. However, there's a lot of DPS on the ground. The Vikings are going to need to land to support this army. However, GG gets called. It's not enough. PtitDrogo making this a full-on series right now. Very well played by PtitDrogo. We're going to get on into the next game in just a second right now. Hope you guys are enjoying the series. I certainly am. Alright, we shall find out what the next map is going to be. 4th is going to be Neon Violet Pink. Neon Violet Square. There. We've got a lot of colors in the map names. We've got Blackwater, and then we've got black and pink, and then we've got Neon Violet Square. That's just a random thing, I suppose. Alrighty, so we're going to get on into the next game as soon as we can. Alrighty. PtitDrogo just requesting a minute, so we shall have a second of downtime here, and then we'll be back with the next game. So we shall just have a second of downtime here. Okay, so SuperNova did just, PtitDrogo, pardon me, just requested a minute, and the minute was all it was, so not much downtime there. Thank you guys for tuning into the stream. Hope you guys are enjoying the tournament. So, currently up 2-1, spawning down the bottom right-hand side of the map. It is Root SuperNova. Trying a pretty ballsy SCV all in there with the Vikings. Maybe could have worked out, but he... bit of a poor attack in there, I suppose. The Vikings, he let off 2 or 3, I think, to the Stalkers there. Might have been better if he just sort of dived right on in there. I mean, that was pretty diving on in there, but maybe could have done it a bit more. And now his opponent spawning up in the top left-hand side of the map. It is PtitDrogo. So we'll have to see how these two guys work out. PtitDrogo got to be quite happy with that last match. I mean, things sort of went his way. Nothing, no early damage was done to PtitDrogo. That was the main thing there. He lost that early Stalker, but that's not really much significant damage. PtitDrogo scouting out with his probe once again. SuperNova going for the gas this time, so we'll have to see what he decides to go for. Maybe he'll go for that sort of Cyclone plate. Now, the map is Neon Violet Square. It's quite large, so might not be something that he wants to play on. Orbital Command on the way. Reaper on the way. SuperNova getting up that expansion here. PtitDrogo's probe just scouting around. Gonna be heading home though, not wanting to lose that. Alrighty, so PtitDrogo, just pretty standard tech stuff. Nothing shouting out about these guys' builds. SuperNova once again going for that factory and reactor though, so it's possible he'll be going for the Cyclones once again. However, it doesn't look like he'll have the gas to go for both the Cyclone and the Hellion as his second refinery. I think might have been a bit later, maybe not. Maybe I'm mistaken here, but doesn't look like he'll have enough gas to immediately make 2 Cyclones. Maybe we'll make some Marines first or something like that. He is going to swap it over though. So we'll have to see what he makes. Could be Hellions that he makes. Hellion run-bys are quite decent. On this map, they're alright too. So if we're just starting the one Cyclone, we'll start the second Cyclone a little later. I'm just sort of curious and trying to read into these builds. So it will be the second Cyclone. He does start the second one a little later in this build, I suppose. Marine on the way, so he is going to be going for that bit of a forward poke. I'm surprised to see, or I wouldn't be surprised to see, if PtitDrogo throws up a shield battery at the front. He's died 2 out of the 3 games to an early push. PtitDrogo, SuperNova, pardon me. It looks like he may be going for a bio follow-up for this once again, so not going to be trying his luck on the mech, or he very well could be, I suppose, but the stim, or the tech lab on the reactor is sort of shouting stim. We'll see. It could always be for a siege tank, I suppose. For now, though, SuperNova looking to move across the map. PtitDrogo going to have quite a wall up. No shield battery just yet. He's going to have 3 Stalkers, though, to defend this. Robo on the way as well. Robo and Blink. So maybe preparing for a Blink all-in. SuperNova going to once again try and sort of take the wind out of the sails of this push. We'll see how PtitDrogo is able to defend this. There's going to be the 2 Cyclones and the Reaper. The Reaper grenade will be critical at disrupting this. Third base looking on the way for PtitDrogo as well. We'll see if he throws that up right away. Right now, though, I don't think he will be. PtitDrogo immediately pulling probes versus this. However, there's a Hellion pulling probes. Lining up versus a Hellion is a little rough. One of the Stalkers goes down there. SuperNova trying to get in there. Another Hellion or 2 coming in once again. So PtitDrogo under assault. Hellions are going to start working away on these probes. One of them almost getting surrounded, though. SuperNova going to lose one of these Cyclones in a second here. However, actually, no, he's slain all the Stalkers. PtitDrogo tries to warp in another, and now he's got absolutely no units. GG gets called. SuperNova makes it 3-1 instantly. Well, that move out. Oh, you just know all the things the locals gripe about then, eh, Adam? Very well played by SuperNova. Maybe looking to close this series out relatively relatively quickly. SuperNova, I'm not one to use this word, but such a savage, just puts a smiley face in chat. That's all he does, just a smiley face in chat. PtitDrogo's got to be losing his mind right now, and all there is a smiley face. Okay, so we just did Neon Violet Square, so the next map is going to be Acid Plant. This is SuperNova's map pick, so we'll see if he's comfortable enough and able to close the series out 4-1. PtitDrogo really going to have to fight back, going to have to win 3 maps in a row now. I mean, he's won 1, so it's certainly possible. PtitDrogo just says, nice build. Certainly it takes the wind out of any Stalker opening. I'm not sure how it would work versus a normal opening, but SuperNova does have a very nice build there versus Blink Stalker All-ins. PtitDrogo maybe could defend it a little bit better. TVP. Looks like both these guys are ready, so we're going to get right on into it. Alrighty, so we've got Terran versus Protoss. SuperNova is currently up 3-1 in this best of 7. Oops, pardon me. Spawning down in the bottom right-hand side. I mean, I've been saying his name for like the past 3 hours. Let me make sure that I swap the overlay. There we go. Just about. I almost forgot. I haven't yet. So we're off to a good start. And if SuperNova wins this one, then I can't possibly screw up swapping the overlays. But if SuperNova wins this one, then it will be going it will be quite an impressive run for him. But I guess I think the introductions get more half-assed as we go further into the tournament, because, I mean, you know the player, you know him every single game. It is PtitDrogo, spawning up in the top left. He's going to have to maybe make some magic to win the game. We'll see if he goes for that similar blink attack again, or planned blink attack. We've never actually seen it really come to see the fruits of it bear, as he's been just sort of punched in the face whenever he tries to do anything by SuperNova. So we've got PtitDrogo, standard stuff. SuperNova going for the standard gas first. The map is Acid Plant. I don't really have a comment on it for TVP. It's one of the newer maps, so we'll just have to see how it works out. Alright, as far as the builds go, PtitDrogo, nothing out of the ordinary. I mean, you guys can see as well as I can. SuperNova, going for that expansion, going for the Reaper. PtitDrogo's probe. Did he actually not scout this game? So that's the one development, I suppose, that PtitDrogo did not scout. Moving out with a probe now, just to build a pylon, but not actually scouting SuperNova, so maybe going to be going for something blindly, some blind aggression, possibly. We'll just have to see how that works out. Reaper going to be popping out for SuperNova, and then we'll see if he goes for the same build. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So right now this is looking exactly like the previous build, so we'll see what PtitDrogo does. Going for a Stargate once again. We've seen a Stargate in the first game. That and I believe the Stargate in the first game and the third game, pardon me. So we have yet to see Mech again, but maybe we will on this map. Sort of depends how SuperNova is feeling again. I guess maybe put PtitDrogo a little bit on guard. The fact that SuperNova won the first game so convincingly with Mech and then hasn't done it again. Right now I've got the Reaper Scout being denied there. Command Center finishing up for SuperNova. He's making that Cyclone pressure once again, so same build. Adept is out for PtitDrogo, so maybe going to try and scout this out and intercept it. As far as production goes for PtitDrogo, though, he has the 2 Adepts, so he is going to be able to deny this scouting. We'll see if the Reaper dives on by. Not going to do that, though. So SuperNova not aware that this Oracle is incoming. And we'll see how much counter damage he's able to get on. This Marine is going to go down. We'll see if this Adept, well, pardon me, that Marine does not go down. He's in bad shape. Right now I've got 2 Hellions on the way. So SuperNova moving across the map. PtitDrogo knows exactly what this is. He's going to have a shield battery this time around. Doesn't have the large count of stalkers in the shield battery, though. He's keeping the Oracle back at home to deny this, to shut this down completely. Not going for the counter damage. He's going to try and get on top of the Cyclone. Cyclone going to lock on. The Marine's going to be here to help. The other Cyclone is too, so this Oracle taking a lot of damage here. Going to be healed up by that shield battery, but it may actually go out of the range and go down. Is it going to hang on? Yes, it does. Second Oracle is out, so PtitDrogo holding on so far. SuperNova's push not getting anything done this time. He's got no choice but just to pull these units back, and I think this push is going to be shut down completely hard by PtitDrogo. So it took a bit of time, but he made the adjustments, and with that, SuperNova's push suddenly falls flat on its face. Double mines on the way for SuperNova. He had good luck killing those oracles before with them. PtitDrogo knows he shut down that push, and he's transitioning into a third base. SuperNova going into mech once again. However, it's not off a very solid foundation with that push failing. So we'll see what PtitDrogo goes into now, going into his Twilight, going into his Forge. Knows that there's not going to be a move out for SuperNova for quite a while, so he's going to be quite confident. Maybe going to be putting on some pressure. However, SuperNova has continuously made these Cyclones, and I say there may not be a move out. However, there very well could be. He's getting a third basin, but he is just producing Cyclones, and 4 Cyclones is sort of saying, I want to go for aggression. Maybe he's worried of a big attack. He's got another Widow Mine. And that's going to burrow there. We'll see if PtitDrogo takes a hit from it. These Cyclones are going to have to try and close this down. SCVs are going to start falling. Widow Mine detonates on one of the Oracles there. Cyclones are possibly going to pick off another one. Not quite. It does get away. This command center is being worked on here. Cyclones are doing their best. SCVs are pulled. SuperNova just trying to push us back. Going to maybe pull the SCVs back now, and then he's got the Cyclones out at the front. Burying another Widow Mine there. SuperNova does not have anything in his main base to defend from this. So he's going to have to pull back there, so he's going to start bleeding off a lot of SCVs. Cyclone is going to lock onto that one injured Oracle. May get it down. No, not quite. That Oracle escaping with its life. Just barely. 1 health, literally, so SuperNova going to be kicking himself for that. Meanwhile, SCVs have fallen. PtitDrogo happily on his third base. He's throwing up more gateways. Knows this is mech at this point. Maybe not even going to try and let this get very far for SuperNova. SuperNova not been making the Ravens this time around, just making that blue flame. Going to eat a Widow Mine shot. Widow Mine going to make a run for it. Will survive. Very nicely done. We'll see what SuperNova is going for. Going for an engineering bay finally. But for now, SuperNova does seem a little boxed in. Right now we've got Viking in position to intercept these Oracles. SuperNova going to start missile turrets as well. That way he'll be able to move out and secure his third base. Going for a Reaper harassment. I was wondering what was moving out on the map. I believe it was just a Reaper. Going to maybe suicide for another probe or something. Gets the full citizen's arrest there. Nicely done by PtitDrogo. Double Archon on the way for PtitDrogo, so he threw up all these gateways earlier. It may be time for him to try and just kill SuperNova off. Maybe he's going to wait for SuperNova to try and secure a third base. SuperNova not really indicating that he wants to do that just yet, though. Maybe knowing that he can't really push out just yet. Oracle's going to reveal that Widow Mine, going to reveal some of that army, but SuperNova not really going anywhere. Hellions moving out, however, they will run into this Adept. So they are just going to elect to kill off that Adept, as they do have the blue flame. Scan going down for SuperNova, not seeing all these gateways at the... or I guess he did with his Reaper, so yeah. So he should know that PtitDrogo is looking to turn on the aggression. However, PtitDrogo not really looking to turn on the aggression. Just going into that 4th Nexus, happily macroing away. SuperNova now moving out for his third base. He does need to take it eventually. Really, really securing this location. Wants to be very safe from potential attacks. PtitDrogo just getting up to a 4th base. He may go for a ground-based attack, it's possible. Or he could simply decide to transition up. Going to be hitting the main base with some harassment. SuperNova quite exposed here. He will have to move some of his Hellions to respond to these Zealots. He's getting up an engineering bay. However, a large warp in from PtitDrogo. 8 zealots in the main base of SuperNova. Gonna have to pull the SCVs instantly. Production being attacked by PtitDrogo, actually. So SuperNova gonna have to lift that up. Losing any of his production at this point as he's simply on 3 factory. A lot of the army for SuperNova come in. A siege tank actually exposed, but PtitDrogo's hitting 2 positions. SuperNova just taps out. If we look at that, yeah, he was just hitting the 3rd base there. So PtitDrogo hanging on. So, PtitDrogo not giving up. It's now going to be 3-2. We're going to go on to the next map. Now, I don't believe PtitDrogo is a fan of the last map, so I think he's going to want to, but he's going to have to play on it, so. The next map is Eastwatch. There we are. Thank you guys for tuning into the Afreeca world. We do further tournaments, so make sure to follow and whatnot. You can follow me on Twitter at LaughNgamez. And then you can always follow the stream and whatnot, like get notified and everything. But we're getting ready for the next match. SuperNova versus PtitDrogo. This series really is delivering. These old guys still got it, so to speak, I guess. Okay. We're going to be getting on into it. Both players are ready. Thank you guys for tuning on into the Afreeca world. It's been a good series, and let's see how the next game goes. Whether SuperNova will be able to close it out or whether PtitDrogo will be able to bring it to game point. So here we are, spawning up on the top right-hand side of this ginormous map, Eastwatch. Playing for Team My Insanity. Gonna try and bring down yet another Korean by bringing it back. It is PtitDrogo. And his opponent spawning down the bottom left-hand side of the map. It is SuperNova. Playing for Team Root. So, we'll have to see how this match goes. PtitDrogo sort of figured out what SuperNova has won the majority of his games with, so we'll see if SuperNova changes it up a fair bit. Build order wise, I expect nothing too cheeky at this stage in the game, and that will be the case. Probe moving out for PtitDrogo, so going back to that early scouting route. I'd be surprised if SuperNova goes for that same build again. PtitDrogo really figured it out. So nothing out of the ordinary, but thank you guys for tuning into the tournament. Once again, we're going to see if this is the match in which SuperNova can close out the series, or if PtitDrogo can push it forward to fight for his crown. As you guys may not know, we've done this is the 9th Afreeca World Invitational, and PtitDrogo is the current champion. We always invite the next champion. PtitDrogo gonna harass this SCV a little bit, perhaps? Nope, just checking in, and then gonna check on out with that probe, I guess. Factory going up for SuperNova. We'll see if we see that reactor once again. I mean, it's not right next to the barracks, but we will see the reactor. We'll see if PtitDrogo identifies this. He is not aware, but we'll see whether he clues into it. PtitDrogo opening up the same once again, stargating it into depth. We'll see. SuperNova could be the stubborn one this time. PtitDrogo tried the same build over and over again, and then it didn't work out. Well, SuperNova sort of smashed him, and now we'll see if PtitDrogo gonna sort of get bopped here. SuperNova moving in with the Reaper, however, he doesn't dive in, so he doesn't know that there's a Stargate on the way. And SuperNova is changing it up so far, so that's good to see. He's not trying the same thing. It indeed was broke, so now he has to fix it. Marine production on the way for SuperNova, actually using that reactor on his barracks this time. Starting a Widow Mine. So SuperNova maybe going to try and catch out an early unit for PtitDrogo, then maybe go into a Widow Mine drop. We'll see if he starts another mine. Or what, could be a Cyclone he's starting here. Yes, it is. So maybe going to be a mine, maybe going to be a Marine Cyclone drop. This time he should be more prepared. Going to actually catch that Adept with that Widow Mine, which is nice. PtitDrogo, that Adept sort of moved a little bit to the right, but he knew it was too late. So SuperNova actually going for a Viking, so preparing for this Stargate. Reaper moves in. SuperNova quite passive with his Reapers. He hasn't seen the Stargate, but I mean, a Reaper's a scout. Yes, it's useful to still have in pressure, but he hasn't identified this Oracle. Still, though, it looks like he will be quite prepared for it. Gonna have out this Viking. Gonna have out the Widow Mine somewhere on the map, and the Marines too. So, should be quite prepared. Reaper gets in, now sees that there's a Phoenix that's popped out. We'll assume there's an Oracle or something else as well. And there is indeed an Oracle, but it seems to be staying at home. So PtitDrogo is indeed wary that this Cyclone attack is going to come, but it's not. So this Oracle's actually been staying back at home. And the reason why he's wary that this attack is coming is because he was hit by the Widow Mine. And SuperNova looks like he will be going for an attack this game. Oracle is back at home for PtitDrogo, though. He's producing another Phoenix, so maybe we're going to be playing something like Phoenix Adept, but a second Phoenix, not something that we see too commonly. Maybe just really wanting to shut down those drops or have a lot of scouting. Or something like the Lifts versus Cyclones that SuperNova's been making. We've got the Oracle moving across the map for PtitDrogo. SuperNova not going to have anything to defend from it as he moved literally everything. However, he may be able to deny this third base. SuperNova could take a lot of damage right now. He's hitting the third base. PtitDrogo actually turns around, bringing that Oracle back, so SuperNova saves himself by hitting there. He's going to be able to cancel this bunker and continue to move in. Supply blocks PtitDrogo too. 2 Cyclones, 2 Vikings as well, so it may be a little rough for PtitDrogo to shut this attack down. SuperNova going in, going for the throat. There's actually nothing here. SuperNova went for a later timing. PtitDrogo thought he was safe, but the window had indeed not passed. These 2 Vikings going to zone out these Oracles. Probes being pulled right now. However, there's a Widow Mine. You do not pull probes versus Widow Mines. The Widow Mine does detonate on some of the air units. However, these Cyclones slaughtering probes. 12 have gone down so far. 15. Both the Phoenix gone down. Now the Oracle may go down as well. Cyclones lock onto it. The bunker may just finish up. The Viking can land here if it wants. These Adepts may be able to clean everything up. However, the damage has been done. SuperNova now going back with all of his survivors. PtitDrogo knowing he's in trouble, starting up a third base. Going to have to reprobe once again. However, he's down on workers. And SuperNova going for that bio transition. This is similar to game number 2 here. SuperNova has Stim, has Combat Shield on the way, throwing up more barracks. So PtitDrogo is going to have to work hard, going to have to think hard on what he's going to make to come back in this game. He could go for some counter harassment, but it looks like now he's just going to be going for Adepts and +1, so maybe he's going to be going for something like an Adept all-in. However, SuperNova is a 2-base Terran, so an Adept all-in not going to be too effective here. Alrighty, so we've got Stim on the way for SuperNova. He's got Combat Shield. He's going to be preparing the rest of his attack. PtitDrogo is going to be going for quite a strong attack. SuperNova going for a drop, so he may actually be caught off guard here. He's got 2 Widow Mines popping out there. That will help a great deal. This Adept Shade coming in. SuperNova pulling his workers. Going to be unloading his units as he identified this. Going to just surround the Adepts. PtitDrogo recalls, though. Losing 1 or 2 of the Adepts, though. Now SuperNova moving out once again. That was a bit of an odd interaction there. SuperNova so boldly pulled SCVs versus Adepts, which is something you never want to do as a Terran player. But it worked out. PtitDrogo decided to recall. SuperNova moving in with a drop. Well, 2 drops actually. One with Marines to shut down the third base. Another to kill off a lot of workers. This Oracle, though, shutting units down. I mean, SuperNova has an engineering bay. However, he has not built any turrets. Been too focused on other things. Making units. Now going to hit the third base. Potentially kill it. There's a lot of Adepts here. We'll see if they move position. There is 1 Phoenix to try and shut down this Widow Mine drop. SuperNova still on 2 bases, so it is important that he gets some damage done. Right now we've got Widow Mines for SuperNova. We're not sieging up, so this fight not really going how he wanted. These mines actually joined up the fight. However, they did not siege up, so this fight going very poorly for SuperNova. He has to get out of there. PtitDrogo shutting this down. Now keep in mind, PtitDrogo did take a lot of damage from this Widow Mine hit there. SuperNova may actually save one of the mines there. Yeah, gonna get him up. However, there's a Phoenix out, so I'm not sure how long he's truly gonna save that mine. They just chose to die together. PtitDrogo's actually producing Phoenix. Once again, tries to burrow that mine. Very bold move, but that mine was dead either way. SuperNova still ahead in supply heavily. However, he is really still just 2 basing it to my knowledge. Yeah, there's only 2 bases on the map for SuperNova. Right now we've got him going for another push, and he does need to get damage done, rallying out a lot of units right now. There is a good chunk of adepts for PtitDrogo, though. Looks like PtitDrogo's planning on breaking down these rocks. We'll see if SuperNova dives in, can actually save those rocks. SuperNova, such a rock lover, I guess a geologist or something. A lot of mines sieging up. We'll see how they interact, whether they deal more damage to the army of SuperNova or not. These Phoenix are going to get on in. Revelation gone down on the mines, so they may be attempted to be lifted here. SuperNova's got a large chunk of bio, though. PtitDrogo's +1 armor is just going to finish up. These mines trying to go off, but they don't really connect with too much. However, now it's just straight up bio versus straight up adepts, and there's basically a medivac per unit. So I think SuperNova may have enough to kill PtitDrogo here. He may have taken the tournament, and it looks like he did. GG gets called. SuperNova takes the tournament. SuperNova takes the tournament with a 4-2 victory versus PtitDrogo. PtitDrogo tried to bring it back, but ultimately he did take a lot of damage from an early push by SuperNova. So, with that said, the tournament's done. We did a lot of StarCraft 2 todays. We've been live for StarCraft 2's todays. We've been alive for just over 3 hours, so thank you guys who've tuned in the whole time. If you guys enjoyed the games, though, make sure to leave a like and whatnot. Keep your eye on Afreeca. They've been sponsoring these events for quite a while. But yeah, if you guys do enjoy the tournament, feel free to like and follow the stream, and you can follow me on Twitter at LaughNgamez. Otherwise, I shall see you guys next time, and I hope you enjoy the tournament. Congrats to SuperNova. Thanks to all the players for coming out, as SuperNova will now be invited to the next Invitational here, so we'll have to see how that goes. But we'll certainly be doing more of these, so make sure to follow the stream. I shall see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.